Hi there, Luke here with another video. For those of you unfamiliar with our channel, my husband Tyler and I make travel videos where we document our experiences since moving from North America to the UK. This is video 3 of our 4-part series of our time in the country of Belgium. The first 2 videos featured our time in the capital city of Brussels, as well as some of the day trips that we did from Brussels, whereas the next 2 videos are going to focus on the specific regions of Flanders in today's video, as well as in the next video, Wallonia, the French-speaking part of Belgium. If you enjoy this video and our other videos, please be sure to give a comment, like, subscribe, and a tip with the super thanks button if so inclined, always super helpful in supporting this channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about our time in Flanders, which is the Flemish or Dutch-speaking part of Belgium, and features some of the main cities of Belgium outside of Brussels, such as Bruges, Ghent, and Antwerp. And I'm also going to be talking about an interesting and unexpected beachside destination that we visited called Knokke Heist. Starting off with our time in Knokke Heist. Knokke Heist is a seaside resort town located in the north of Belgium near the Dutch border. It's famous for its long sandy beaches, elegant boutiques and restaurants, as well as the Zween Nature Park, which is an area of salt marshes and mudflats that shelter birds like storks and oyster catchers. In order to get to Knokke Heist, we took a morning train from Brussels, which took about 2 hours, and dropped off our bags at our accommodation, which for us was the Lakeside Paradise Sport Hostel. We enjoyed just a relaxing day at the beach, walking around the main street for some ice cream, and relaxing the remainder of the day with some drinks on the patio at our accommodation. This was kind of a nice low-key holiday day and is a great place to visit if you want a bit more of that beachy vibe in Belgium, which I personally did not expect to see, so that was a fun surprise for me. Moving on to some of the other highlights of Flanders, these are definitely the larger cities of Belgium outside of Brussels. First of all, let's talk about the city of Bruges. Bruges is about a 20 to 40 minute train ride from Knokke Heist and is the capital of West Flanders in northwest Belgium. It's distinguished by its canals, cobbled streets, and medieval buildings. Along with a few other canal-based northern cities such as Amsterdam and St. Petersburg, Bruges is sometimes referred to as the Venice of the North. For this, as well as many other reasons, Bruges city centre is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is one of Belgium's most well-preserved medieval cities and is a must-visit when exploring the country. Because it is relatively small, it makes for a great day trip from Brussels or other nearby cities if you want to do it just as a day trip, but we chose to stay overnight because we quite enjoyed Bruges itself. We did a free walking tour that started in Berg Square, which is one of the main squares in Bruges and houses the former fortress in Bruges. The tour took us all around the different parts of the city with its beautiful architecture and canals. One of the stops on the tour was to the Béguinage in Bruges, which features white-colored house fronts and a tranquil convent garden. The tour finished back in the main square with a reenactment of the story of the Brugge Bear, which Tyler's sister Carly herself was chosen as a volunteer to play, which was kind of funny to see. After the walking tour, we continued our exploration of the city, stopping for lunch near a main square for some famous moule frite. Moule frite is a main dish of mussels and French fries that originate in Belgium and is considered the national dish of the country. After our delicious lunch, we headed to the stunning Basilica of the Holy Blood. The Basilica of the Holy Blood is a 12th century church which houses a revered vial containing cloth stained with the actual blood of Christ, or so is believed. You are not allowed to take pictures or videos of the relic, but the church itself is worth visiting on its own. A visit to Bruges wouldn't be complete without a canal tour through the city. You can embark at one of the 5 landing stages in the heart of Bruges, where you can simply buy your ticket at the kiosk. Boat trips run from early March to mid-November and are about 30 minutes long. It offers a great perspective of the main highlights of the city, gliding past beautiful buildings and even under low bridges. After the tour, we had a quick coffee and a snack of waffles to refuel. We finished our day off with a visit to the Church of Our Lady. The Church of Our Lady in Bruges, Belgium dates back mainly from the 13th, 14th, and 15th centuries. Before leaving Bruges, we decided to visit one of the most famous landmarks in the city, which is called Boniface Bridge. Boniface Bridge is a quaint, early 20th century pedestrian bridge with romantic views of the canal and town. It is a romantic hotspot and photo point and is considered one of the most scenic spots in all of Bruges. It can get busy at peak times, so we personally opted to go early in the morning to avoid some of the crowds and enjoy it in a bit of a quieter, more peaceful atmosphere. The next city I want to feature is the city of Ghent, which was only a 40-minute train ride away from Bruges. Ghent is a port city in northwest Belgium and was a prominent city-state during the Middle Ages. Today, it serves as a university town and cultural hub. Its pedestrianized center is known for medieval architecture, such as the 12th century Gravenstein Castle. It is the capital and largest city of the East Flanders province, and is the 3rd largest in the country, exceeded in size only by Brussels and Antwerp. We started our day off in Ghent with a visit to the medieval Gravenstein Castle. From 1180 to 1353, Gravenstein Castle housed several counts of Flanders, and it is therefore also known as the Castle of the Counts. After ceasing to be the residence of the Counts of Flanders, the castle entered a decline. It was subsequently repurposed as a court, a prison, a mint, and even as a cotton factory at one point. It was restored over 1893 to 1907 and now serves as a museum and major landmark in the city. The castle is a great place to start your visit to Ghent with some interesting history and beautiful views overlooking the surrounding city. After visiting Gravenstein Castle, we decided to do a self-guided walking tour of the city of Ghent. We actually got a map from Gravenstein Castle of the major landmarks of Ghent, so that was a nice help in deciding what route to take. On our walking route, we first stopped at the Belfry Tower. The Belfry of Ghent is one of 3 medieval towers that overlook the old city center of Ghent, with the other 2 belonging to St. Bavo Cathedral and St. Nicholas's Church. Its height of 91 meters makes it the tallest belfry in all of Belgium. The cloth hall, built onto the belfry, was completed in the year 1907 and built in the flamboyant Brabant Gothic style. After passing through the cloth hall, you begin the climb, 366 steps in total, to the top of the tower for stunning panoramic views overlooking the city of Ghent. After we were finished here, we headed across the street to the St. Bavo's Cathedral in order to visit the famous Mystic Lamb. St. Bavo's Cathedral is the cathedral of the Catholic Church in Ghent. The 89-meter tall Gothic building is the seat of the Diocese of Ghent and is named for St. Bavo of Ghent. It contains the well-known Ghent altarpiece, also called the Adoration of the Mystic Lamb, which is a very large and complex 15th century altarpiece. One piece of information I found particularly interesting to learn is that the Mystic Lamb is apparently the most stolen art piece in the entire world. We finished off our time in Ghent by walking around the city a bit more, in particular to Graffiti Street, which is an homage to the street art scene in Ghent. Overall, Ghent was a great place to visit, and I would love to go back if I get the chance. Now, for the final city that we're featuring in this video is the city of Antwerp. I personally was very surprised to learn that Antwerp, and not Brussels, is actually the largest city in all of Belgium. Not only that, but the port of Antwerp is the second largest in all of Europe and ranks in the top 20 for the whole world. We visited Antwerp and stayed overnight, but if you want to visit Antwerp as a day trip from Brussels, it is possible, as it only takes about 50 minutes by train to get here from Brussels. The nice thing about Antwerp too is that your tour can start right when you get off the train, because the train station itself is a destination in that it is so large, quite a sight to behold, and in my opinion, quite beautiful to walk around and take in. We enjoyed walking along the streets in Antwerp, taking in the pretty buildings and public art displays throughout the city. One of the main highlights of Antwerp is the main square, or Grote Markt. Grote Markt is perhaps the most famous square in Antwerp. You get amazing views of the architectural pearls of Antwerp, such as the guild houses and the town hall. In the middle of the square is the Antonius Bravo fountain, named after the Roman soldier to whom, as legend has it, Antwerp owes its name. Another thing in Antwerp that we would have done was visiting Antwerp City Hall or Town Hall, but unfortunately when we were there, they did not have any openings left on the tour. So something we'll have to save for our next visit to Antwerp. Our next stop in Antwerp was to Het Steen, which means stone castle. And Het Steen is a medieval fortress located in the old city center along the port. The surviving structure was built between 1200 and 1225 as a gateway to a larger castle of the Dukes of Brabant, which was demolished in the 19th century. As the first stone fortification or city wall of Antwerp, Het Steen is Antwerp's oldest building and used to be part of its oldest urban center. Access was free and definitely worth a visit. On our way back to the city center, we stopped at the beautiful Stadsfeestzaal. Stadsfeestzaal is the former Antwerp Festival Hall and is a shopping center that is listed as a historical building in Antwerp. The imposing 19th century neoclassical building was devastated by a major fire in the year 2000, but has been restored to its former glory. A trip to Belgium, in my opinion, would not be complete without a visit to one of its chocolate museums, and Antwerp has a great one to visit if you are visiting. The one in Antwerp is called Chocolate Nation and includes several multimedia exhibits on the history of chocolate making. Plus, it has hands-on workshops and tastings. Chocolate Nation provides an interactive and historical tour of the history of Belgian chocolate and is the largest chocolate museum in the world entirely devoted to Belgian chocolate. Antwerp in particular is especially known for Belgian chocolate in that the port of Antwerp is the largest storage site of cacao beans in the world, and the top chocolatiers are trained at the Provincial Institute for the Catering Industry of Antwerp, or PIVA. In 14 thematic rooms, the tour takes you on a 60 to 90 minute journey and tells you the story of Belgian chocolate. Our favorite part, unsurprisingly, was getting to sample the various flavors and variations of Belgian chocolate that they offer here. And I found that they were quite generous with how much they let you eat and enjoy. And even as someone like myself who is not a huge sweets fan, I really enjoyed the chocolate and thought it was quite good. So even if you're someone who's not super into chocolate, who knows, you may enjoy it yourself as well. We even learned that there is a new variety of chocolate called ruby chocolate, which was originated in the year 2017 and is marketed as the fourth type of chocolate alongside dark, milk, and white chocolate varieties. It has a pink color and is very delicious in my opinion. Our next stop in Antwerp was to the Rubens House, and the Rubens House is the former home and workshop of the famous Antwerp-based artist Peter Paul Rubens. Purchased in the year 1610, Rubens had the Flemish townhouse renovated and extended on the basis of designs by Rubens himself. After the renovations, the house and its courtyard garden had the outlook of an Italian palazzo, which reflected the artistic ideals of Rubens. The site now is a museum dedicated mainly to the work of Rubens and his contemporaries. Walking around here, you learn about the life of Flanders' greatest painter. The different rooms in the house are filled with beautiful paintings, and the architecture both inside and out is spectacular. There's also a pretty garden outside with some more modern displays of art. Rubens' house is a great attraction to visit if you're in Antwerp and offers a more intimate look into the work and life of the city's most famous artist. We finished off our time in Antwerp at an interesting restaurant called Elfde Gebouwd. Elfde Gebouwd is Antwerp's oldest and most reviewed restaurant. The interior is filled to the brim with a great collection of Christian art, including antique statues and figurines of Jesus, Mary, saints, and angels, as well as the occasional humorously sacrilegious trinket. Elfde Gebouwd serves delicious local Belgian cuisine, as well as an enormous variety of famous beers, and was a perfect way to finish off our time in Antwerp. All right, everyone, that is it for this video on Flanders, Belgium. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll stay tuned for our next and final video in Belgium, which features the French region of Belgium called Wallonia. If you enjoyed this video and want to help support us, please be sure to give a comment, like, subscribe, or a tip with the super thanks button. Super helpful as always. Hope to see you at our next video in Wallonia. Bye.